false hopes that we would go on today at 11 o'clock, but nah, I decided to come on a little early. Why did I do that? Because I see a lot of my people are on between the hours of 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So we're going to try to see if we can entertain some of those people. Also, let's give the videos a little longer opportunity to be on YouTube. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. What are we covering today, you might ask? Ha, yes, back in New York. We got Luigi Mangioni, finally been brought back to New York City to face the charges of the murder for killing the CEO of United Healthcare. He came in the other day, he flew in and he went to federal court. We also have comments from his mother who said it sounds like something that my son would do. Trump and DOGE. In another story, they say no to a spending bill that was introduced today to try to save the government before we go out, before this evening's deadline. The monetary request was turned down and it wasn't accepted by DOGE. Also, Trump tried to put in his own spending bill thereafter and it was rejected as well, and rejected by Republicans. So a lot in the news going on. Also, we got situations in New York today where Amazon workers say they're not taking it no more, so they going on strike. We want our money, we want our money, we want our money, we want it now. It's Christmas time. What's going on? Come on, Jeff. Jeff Bezos, get right. You got enough billions. Take care of New York. Not only that, New Yorkers ain't having it when it comes down to their money. We're very vocal about our money, and we gonna come for it. We got two situations with Alvin Bragg today. We got Alvin Bragg with the commissioner as well as a bunch of other New York administrators who are basically bringing formal charges against Ingrid Louise Martin. She was one of the mayor's connections and one of the New York mayor, Eric Adams. I think she was one of his commissioners, basically got caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Lastly, we've got two more stories where a Delco woman was accused of registering 4 people, 4 dead people, to vote. So let's see. Let's get into it. As you guys can see, it's not a game. They bringing him off the helicopter. They got him coming off of a chopper here. Official chopper. Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Good shot at him right here. He's probably getting used to being locked up and having to take these guys' commands. As you can see, it's very heavy as far as coverage and security. You might think that that's a lot of coverage for one person, but due to the magnitude of what he did and how much it takes in order just to orchestrate to bring this man back to the state to face charges, all of these people are actually necessary. You might not notice, but the mayor was actually there too. I noticed him in the back when they were walking. Doesn't look like a murderer at all, does he? Doesn't look like anybody that would do a crime that he's being accused of. And this is all alleged because he still has to go and face his day in court. So I want you guys to notice something real quick. Mayor Adams is right there. That's the mayor, right under Luigi's name, right on the top left corner right there. That's the mayor right there. We got several other officials here, but of course he was not gonna not get that photo op right there. They say many people are hailing Luigi Mangione as a hero now. What do you guys think? Do you think that his mission was for himself or for other people? Do you hail him as a hero or as a murderer? Good question. It's just something I want to ask you guys. Now that's a lot. That's a lot of coverage right there. You got SWAT, got the feds. His face looks very concerned as he comes back to the city. He is being extradited back to the state of the city of New York in order to face court. And he looks like a young boy to me, if you think about it. You know, again, we've got Mayor Adams right here at the back. I wonder what's going through his mind at this time. Got some people yelling out in the back, asking questions. That's him getting off to go to court to face the charges of murder. You know, I'm just guess I'm a different type of person because I'm always wondering what are these people thinking? How's he feeling in there? Does he really understand the magnitude of what's going on? He's also being charged as a terrorist, which could mean that he comes up for the death penalty. So, you know, we all have gripes and angers against companies and situations, but that never means that we should take matters into our own hands and possibly, you know, hurt one another because it's never that serious. I understand. I understand that, you know, people have their own feelings and we go through a lot of things, especially with healthcare. We may take losses of family members and stuff of that nature, but I don't ever think it means that it's okay to ever harm someone else because you're putting yourself in danger too. And I'm thinking about like Luigi's mom. You know, she said things like, this seems like something that he might do. Not saying that she was expecting it, but just like I heard from someone else. Let's say that, you know, she was at Thanksgiving and he came up and he started yelling or, you know, you know, speaking out his views or whatever that seemed a little radical, and they may identify as similar. So that could be a reason why his mom even thought that, you know, her statement was, this could be my son, before she could really see his face clearly. This is him in federal court. Well, federal court that's actually handling the case now of Luigi Mangione.
As the day has concluded for Luigi Mangione, tell us what you saw during the proceedings.
Well, it was a packed courtroom. Mangione was led into the courtroom by two U.S. Marshals. He was changed from the orange jumpsuit into street clothes, a white button-down shirt, a three-quarter zip navy overshirt, and khaki pants. He was shackled at the ankles, and his hands were clasped in front of him, but not shackled. So he entered, he sat down, he was quiet throughout the proceeding, didn't make many facial expressions. He did acknowledge he understood his rights when the judge read them to him. He said he understood the charges against him, all times just answering very briefly, yes. He consulted with his attorneys, and at some point he was flipping through the complaint, reading the murder, the stalking charges that were levied against him. Now, the hearing was very brief, the judge just going through the process, but the big moment there was his attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, saying that in her 30 years as a prosecutor and a defense lawyer practicing in New York, she had never seen a situation play out like this. In fact, she said she was told to appear in state court at 2 p.m. today for his arraignment on state charges, and then they were shocked when they turned around and found that there were federal charges and this first presentment today in court. Now, the judge set a preliminary hearing for the middle of January. That is presuming that Mangione is not indicted before then on these federal charges. Today's charges were a complaint. The next step will be that indictment on federal charges. You know, she did note that one of these charges is has the possibility of the death penalty. The prosecutors did not say whether they were going to seek that in this case. They didn't even respond to her allegations about how highly unusual this was, saying that that will be discussed at a future court hearing when it is more appropriate. The judge acknowledging that they didn't really have to address it today. We are waiting now for his attorneys to exit court. Mangione was taken back into custody. He will be detained for now. They did not seek bail, but we are waiting for the lawyers to step out. They're not expected to speak to the cameras, at least at this point, but Mangione for now in federal custody. It's unclear when he will be in state court to respond to those 11-count indictment on those state charges.
So yes, they brought state charges as well as federal charges, and that's showing you that they want to make something stick and that they're not playing and that they're serious about this case and these charges. Mangione came to New York and seeked out, you know, vengeance from what he felt, and that's why they also raised the, I think they raised the charges as well to terroristic. So yeah, man, this is a crazy situation in our time. And I understand everyone, like I said, they have their own feelings and gripes about these situations, but at the same time, someone lost their life. You know, someone definitely lost their lives, and it's just not cool for stuff like this to happen, you know, in the time that we're living in right now. It's just crazy. Let me see. Trump and Elon Musk, as well as Ramsey, I think that's his name. I can't say his name very well. They basically turned down the House's spending bill, which sent us into owing money. Well, not owing money, but basically the government is technically supposed to be shut down right now. You know, technically we weren't able to make our quota. Able to get a new budget to cover the bills and the spending that's coming forward. The reason being is because Donald Trump and Elon Musk feels as if there were certain things that were put inside of the spending bill that had nothing to do with what needs to be taken care of right now. They're looking for a little more slim and trim fit spending bill for now. And then they're talking about the possibilities of implementing other things moving forward. But so far, the spending bill has been rejected.
We are again the week before Christmas, things that Republicans never said we would do. But to Vivek and Elon, who came a couple of weeks ago and were treated like rock stars, welcome to the party, pal. We're glad to have them. Good gravy. This was a surprise to many people. 1,500 pages, including Elon and Vivek. I think it lasted. What did it last, Maria? About 2 hours and 40 minutes. The survival before it just collapsed under its own weight. So we're regrouping this morning, and I know late meetings last night, this morning. Once again, hopefully we can get the job done to avoid a shutdown this weekend.
So when President Trump says he wants to see a clean CR, what does that mean, Congressman? Tell me what a clean CR would look like.
Okay, so I have to fix what I said. I wasn't exactly sure if the government was shut down, but he said trying to prevent the government from being shut down this weekend. I have to fix my statement, and let's keep going. And what sort of a spending bill would the president look for? He's answering that right now as well.
Clean CR, it just says, okay, we're going to keep the government open without adding all of these bells and whistles and democratic programs and expanding government. So let's just focus on getting the government funded, the bare essentials of what's funded now, without any crazy changes. We saw many crazy changes. It was anything but a clean CR is what was presented yesterday.
Well, the other thing that President Trump said was that it was a huge mistake to allow the debt ceiling limit debate to happen in 2025. On President Trump's watch. He says if they're not going to increase the debt limit now, you think they're going to do it when I'm in charge in 2025? Would you support putting the debt limit question here in this CR so that it's on Joe Biden's watch instead of President Trump's?
Maria, that's how you roll. You get right to it, don't you? That's it's a new twist that President Trump has added about the debt limit. You know, I'm hopeful, and this is the whole point of DOGE. We've got to break this city's addiction to government spending, and that's why we had a big meeting. Our first DOGE caucus meeting launched this week. It was packed, Maria. I wish you were there. You could see. Of course, there were.
Okay, so what's going on? Of course, now I understand what's happening. They're trying to add a few more things to the bill, and it has democratic situations or democratic democratic laws inside of there. He doesn't want to sign off on that. Just wants a clean spending bill to take care of the government, to keep us functioning. And then when it comes down to all the other stuff, they want to continue to be partisan and play around back and forth. Let's just be honest with it. Also, I think that there was a addition in the bill to give certain people raises. I don't think that they're coming to a point where they feel like giving raises at this point. And I think they had to do with other spending that had to do with foreign aid and stuff like that. So that's probably another reason why the bill was rejected. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? God bless everybody here. Have a great, fantastic morning. Hope everybody's healthy and having a fantastic holiday. Catherine Unstable says they wouldn't do this to anyone else. And she's talking about Luigi. The second QT, the fact that you get your news from Fox shows how uneducated you are. Pick unbiased sources. Paul McMackey's word, you have no clue what's going on, dumb boss. Okay, let's go. Let's keep on going. And again, I always say the same thing. You want to kill the messenger instead of listening to the message, which is cool. And I have no personal I go to MSNBC, I go to CNN, I go to BBC all the time. Check the other videos, y'all. It's not only Fox. It's not.
Be a place for you to sit because it was so packed. But more importantly, most important.
Okay, now where we going to, where we headed to, and we got a little more on this. We got a little more, because it's important, and we have to talk about it. And if I'm correct, this is the AP, the Republican Showdown. What are we talking about here? And it's not Fox for all of you guys. We've got Associated Press. Is that okay? Let's see what they're talking about with this situation.
So what's going on?
Again, I don't think you guys care about them. You should stop worrying about the messenger. Find out if the information is correct from both sides. This way you're smarter and you know what everybody else is thinking at least. Don't just think one way. That's why I'm not getting angry with you, because you have your own opinion and I respect you for that.
Here, you jettisoned all the things that we worked on a bipartisan basis to try to bring prices down, be fair to the American people, protect the consumer, protect the environment, protect safety, and instead you decide to simply go ahead with something that you know will not pass, that will shut the government down. Don't tell me this is on our watch. This is on your watch. You're the majority, you're responsible. This is not going to pass. The government's going to shut down, and the American people are going to suffer because of you.
So, on the other side of it, Trump put together his spending bill. They don't like it. Even Republicans don't like it, so they shut it down. And look at me giving both sides of the information.
As Republicans,
and it was already queued. Remember that? It was already queued up to play like this. And yeah, okay.
feel about it.
Speaker, colleagues are reminded to direct their comments to the chair. The gentlewoman from Connecticut reserves. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We've had a lot of talk about what's not in this bill. Maybe we ought to talk a little bit about what's in this bill. It keeps the government open, which my friends say they want to do, and I think they're sincere in that. This does that. It provides relief to people in the various disaster areas around the country, an amount that they agree to, and we agree to, and we share that in common. It provides aid for farmers who suffered through several years of droughts and disaster and a systemic crisis that, as my friend from Missouri mentioned, is costing us farms. It extends important health care provisions into the next year. There's nothing in here you're against. There's not a single thing in this bill that you oppose. So if you can't vote for what you're for, please don't lecture us about what, if I had this and this and this, I'd vote for it. You vote no, you're voting to shut down the government. If you vote no, you're voting to deny aid to people with disaster. If you vote no, you're voting against helping American farmers and ranchers at a difficult time. And if you vote no, you're voting to strip important provisions that are being extended into next year. Why? Because you don't want to give the next president enough time to get organized. And you want to use the debt to leverage. The extension of the debt ceiling is what we've done for the last 2 years. It's what you supported 2 years ago.
All right, so let me see if y'all beating me up still, because I'm trying to give you both sides of it, but I know how y'all do now. I know how you do. I know how you do. The second QT, you have no clue. Okay, what's that, Sally? Didn't they just give themselves a pay raise? Yep, they sure did. Talk about overspending. Give us a break. Paul Makowitz says, it's what it is. Stephen V. So taking away a child cancer research and money for farmers? Big dog, you look like Brian Pumper. Oh boy. Anyway, let's keep on putting some more fat on our brains because we need to know what's going on.
There's no change in that whatsoever. So if you want to fight other things and other battles, that's great. I welcome that debate. I think it's a legitimate debate.
Is he Republican or Democrat? I want to know because it kind of leans towards his feelings about this bill. Because most of the time, if you're whatever party you are, you're of course for whatever bills that's put up. Let's be fair about it. I think he's a Republican though, like that red tie on.
But you're voting against a bill that everything in it you support. Every single thing. And you're doing that for political purposes. So please don't lecture us about that. We present something that keeps the government open, that provides aid to people, that provides support for farmers, that extends important provisions, and you're not opposed to any of that, and yet you're going to oppose the bill. And if a government shutdown comes, and I sincerely hope it does not, please don't tell us that those of us that voted to keep the government open.
I think he might be a Democrat. I think I might have made a mistake. If anybody can let me know, I appreciate your help. I want to know if he's a Republican or Democrat. Sounds like he's a Democrat. I actually am for what he's saying. Let's keep the government open. Let's go for it. I mean, if it's not a bad bill, what's the problem?
While you voted to let it close are somehow responsible. That's just not the case. So, I have a rule as a legislator. I never vote against the bill because of what's not in it. I vote on the basis of the bill that comes here, and then I fight for the other things that I think are important. And extending a debt ceiling that we've done for 2 years in a bipartisan fashion so you can use it as leverage against the new president is something you ought to reconsider as a political tactic. With that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserved.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Y'all want to see a little bit more of this? I actually don't, because I got a little bit more. I got some stuff on DA Alvin Bragg, where he reveals corruption in the New York City mayor's office. Ingrid Lewis Martin. She was one of his top aides. She had like one of the most official jobs under the mayor. And basically, she was taking kickbacks and letting people bribe her in order to get certain things like she was doing things like letting people, she had like, if your building needed a permit to do construction, you just go straight to her, give her some money, boom, don't worry about the security of it, nobody gonna check the structure. Next thing you know, you're getting a permit as long as you grease her palm. She even had the style in how she did it and told people to do it on like, what's that phone thing that they use? Check this out.
Today's announcement addresses corruption at the highest levels of city government.
Please also note, because I pay attention to you guys, this is Forbes News. You said stop watching Fox. I heard you the other day. You said don't use it so much, and I'm listening to you, being more around it. Also, I try to use, let's say if I do use Fox, I use a totally alternate other sort of news to see what both sides and both parties are saying. I'm trying to do that. It's just not enough time in the day to get all of this done in a certain amount of time where you guys appreciate it, because I don't want to oversaturate and kill you with conversation. I want to give you the good information and keep it moving. Stop killing the messenger.
The indictment unsealed today can be summarized in 3 words: quid pro quo. We allege that Ingrid Lewis Martin engaged in a long-running bribery, money laundering, and conspiracy scheme by using her position and authority as the chief advisor to the New York City mayor, the second highest position in city government, to illegally influence city decisions in exchange for in excess of $100,000 in cash and other benefits for herself and her son, Glenn Martin II. Accordingly, both Louis Martin and Glenn Martin II are charged in the New York State Supreme Court indictment with bribe receiving in the first degree, Class B felony, money laundering in the third degree, a Class D felony, and conspiracy in the fourth degree. The charges encompass the vast majority of defendant Louis Martin's time as chief advisor. Their conduct is one half of the quid pro quo equation. The other charges pertain to the other half, those who sought access by paying bribes. We allege that real.
Okay, so not only has she been doing this, but she's been doing it for the entire length of the time that she's been there. Also, they're coming after everybody that took the money and the people that gave the money. So on both sides, everybody in trouble, man.
Real estate developers and business owners Razada Pinky Vaid and Mayank Dovidi paid for access and influence to the tune of more than $100,000. They each are charged with bribery in the first degree and conspiracy in the fourth degree. Vaid and Dovidi own private Manhattan businesses and properties, including the Glass Ceiling, a rooftop bar near Herald Square, and the hotel on Rivington on the Lower East Side. Both these properties had construction permits pending with the Department of Buildings during various times of this investigation. We allege that Louis Martin acted as an on-call consultant for Vaid and Dovidi, serving at their pleasure to resolve whatever issues they had with DOB on their construction projects. And she did so without regard for security considerations and with utter and complete disregard for DOB's expertise and the public servants who work there. On multiple occasions, Vaid and Dovidi asked Louis Martin to use her official role to help them evade DOB's roles surrounding these two construction projects.
Okay, $100,000, a Porsche, gave her son a job, and kept on giving him, what, $5,000 a week or something like that to be a consultant. And she basically already resigned the position. They're trying to say that there's no connection from her to Mayor Adams. What do you guys think? I need to get up in here and check out my people and see what y'all got to say about this. Because this is like Monopoly. It's like a fake movie going on all of a sudden. This is crazy. Didn't they just, okay, let me see. It is what it is, so taken away. Okay. Gel, is this something new? You all do it. Except some of y'all haven't been caught yet. Ah, Gel, you're so right. I'm scratching my head like, cause why is this a big deal? All of y'all do it. What politician doesn't get into politics and becomes a multimillionaire all of a sudden? Now all of a sudden Joe Biden has signed something saying that if you're in politics, you can't trade. He already made his money, so he's taking his money and running. Plus he's gonna be on the beach somewhere, so why would he care?
And again, she delivered for them. Each time she received an ask, she complied. She would immediately flip their ask to DOB, sometimes without any moment's notice, reflexively, and on at least one occasion, flipping the exact language provided to her. And DOB complied, expediting a project or helping overturn the decision to reject a permit.
Yeah, so how many other people are doing this? Also, I got a question because I saw the comments yesterday somewhere else. You're not liked a lot. A lot of people do not like Alvin Bragg. I don't like you. I feel like I know you from when we were in school and you were just like somebody that got on my nerves all the time and just like did stuff and, you know, one of them guys, you just got one of them faces, man, and I ain't gonna go there, but you just look like one of them kids that used to probably get beat up when you were in school, and now you got a job and you're taking it out on everybody else. I honestly think that, I don't think that many people like Mr. Bragg. Put a one in the comments if you don't like him too much. Just be honest. If you don't like Mr. Bragg too much, just go ahead and put a one in the comments because I don't really like dude too much. It's not the fact of his job and what he does. It's the way he goes about doing it. Alvin Bragg. What are you bragging about? What are you bragging about? We also got a situation where a Delco woman, yep, Delco, she is accused of registering 4 dead people to vote.
Cases. So let me just say from the beginning, I'm flanked by Doug Rhodes, who's Deputy District Attorney for Special Investigations, my first assistant, Tanner Rouse, and Jim Allen, who's the Director of Elections here in Delaware County. Very proud of the work our election operation does, working with our election security team. To have secure elections in this country, law enforcement has to work to make sure that we follow up on every potential investigation of someone who's violating our election laws. We've taken a robust attitude towards that here in Delaware County, and today are the first 2 cases coming out of this past election. The first is a very simple case. We are charging an 84-year-old man named Philip Moss. And one of the principles of our democracy is one person, one vote. Mr. Moss seemed to believe that he was entitled to 2. So he voted both in person in the state of Florida, and he completed a mail-in ballot to vote here in Delaware County. He has admitted to this. A warrant has been issued for his arrest, and he will be coming back to Delaware County to face the misdemeanor charges that we brought. The second is a little more complex. I want to talk a little bit more about this. This is a woman named Jennifer Hill, who was charged with multiple counts for having fraudulently registered people to vote in Pennsylvania. And you'll see from the charges that there are about 40 charges, as Doug will explain later. They're all for each of the 4 counts. So the lead charge is forgery, but there are counts related to each of these.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. So the same way someone says that they all do it when it comes down to government corruption, does that mean that there's more people that do stuff like this, that registered DEAD people? I mean, and they got caught red-handed too. And the crazy thing about it is the age. The age is crazy. I like him. He's doing his job. Everybody who loves Trump think it's now on to get with the chromes. Okay. Please More says he likes Alvin Bragg. Or doesn't make it right. Get off Biden. He's doing his job. I didn't say nothing about Biden, unless you're just talking about period. L. Mike, Free Luigi. Please More. Crimes, he meant. He meant to say crimes. Got you.
Fraudulent registrations. And Jim is here, and he can correct me when parts that I get wrong. But Ms. Hill lives in Collingdale, Pennsylvania, and she was employed by an organization called the New Pennsylvania Project. They have various affiliates that help them do their work. One of their functions is to do voter registration drives, and she was employed as a canvasser doing voter registration for this organization. To help her in that, they gave her some devices. Pennsylvania Department of Elections, the Pennsylvania Department of State, which runs our election system here at the state level, makes the SURE registration system available to people both online, but also to some organizations that are doing voter registration drives through an app. And the New Pennsylvania Project had that app, and it was installed on a device that was given to Ms. Hill. And between April of this past year until September, we know that she registered using that device 310 people, which 181 we believe were successfully registered. 129, which is a big number, were not successfully registered. And from our investigation, and I really want to give Jim Allen and his team all the credit in the world, because, Jim, I'm going to try to explain the system here, but literally what this woman did was to pad the numbers for her employment. She started registering people that were dead. One of them was her dead father. Another was a person who died in her house, the same house she's living in right now, in 2011, and she knows that because she was the person who called the police to come when he died in her house. So she completely registered dead people, tried to do it using different varieties of their name, and she successfully registered somebody who I think is a fictitious person, but was the name of her, I think, grandmother, that she gave a different date of birth to, and that one, the registration was successful in getting through to the state system, which is a flaw in our system. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But the way I understand it works is she would use the app to go online and send in the information to the state to get somebody registered to vote. The state then requires certain pieces of information, one of which is your driver's license or your last 4 digits of your social security number. If they have those successfully, they can upload that information from the state databases, send it down to the county. The county, it's called verified registration. The county, Jim's people then go and through and put your vote or your ward and precinct and all that information and actually issue you.
The process doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's flawed. And if she could do, if she was a person that was canvassing and was able to register 189 people out of 300, whereas 120 something came back and they didn't register them, that's a major flaw. it also shows that there could be more people, like you guys always say, there could be more people that this happens to. And I don't know. Let's get into this next story. I got to be honest with you. This is in Maspeth, Queens. I don't know what Jeff Bezos is thinking, but when you mess around in New York and you put people to work, it's just like Walmart or wherever else. You think you're going to pay us. And if you don't pay us, they going on strike. So look what Amazon workers saying to Jeff Bezos right now.
The strike began at 6 a.m. and the numbers of picketers have fluctuated throughout the day. This is the contingent right now. One thing we have seen throughout the day, though, a lot of emotion. After your route, front side up. While Amazon trucks headed out of its distribution center, dozens of striking union workers shouted right at their fellow drivers. Hey, have fun doing my route today. You're seeing and feeling the tension firsthand. The people on the picket lines are drivers for Amazon.
I actually had to do this one time. I was a scab. That's what they call you when you go against the picket line and you go to work for a company that's being picketed. Well, their workers are striking because you're walking by the people that actually work there every day. And it's like you don't have any consideration for them. So you're actually called a scab. So, you know, a lot of people need a job. And I ain't gonna lie, one time they needed somebody to do security. They was talking about paying $35 an hour and they needed me to do security. All I had to do was sit there and eat my lunch and play on my phone. I was a scab. And as you can see, I walked by and I was getting all that yelling from me. Imagine they pulling out cars right now in vans. Imagine walking through the line to go to work, to sit there and be security. They could leave and go do their route. I had to sit there and stay in the dock.
And so are the people behind the steering wheels of the trucks. Strikers say they're trying to get a better deal for everyone.
We should be paid compensatory to what we are worth. We are worth far more than $20 an hour.
You know, having 350 packages, 143 stops. You do 10 hours a day, you go home to your kids, your back hurts, your body hurts.
This location is one of 7 across the country on strike. The idea is to affect the country's second largest company at its busiest time of the year to force it to negotiate a contract. It has not. But Amazon says it's got 1.5 million employees that more than make up for the 10,000 the parent union, the Teamsters, say are on strike.
So Amazon is like, whatever, that's a tic-tac-toe whale. Y'all don't want to come to work? No problem. We got millions of workers, employees that are coming to work. The problem right there is the problem which lies within that. If more of those workers, those millions would have joined this, it would have helped everybody. But the sad part about it is we're living in a time of economic strife. We're all going through really big problems in a big time right now where we need money. We can't just say, oh, I'm not going to work. We can't just deny our children and our families of the basic necessities of life, which we have to do as far as like paying bills and, you know, it's Christmas time in six days. So it was probably counterproductive and not so strategic for them to do this at this time because, you know, what are they really getting out of it? Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna start doing my lives more early because you guys are more in here, more active now. And when I do it at 10:30 and 11 o'clock, nobody's around or available. So I think I'm gonna do it at this time. Also, it gives me a time to get with the people that wants to leave comments and I can read your comments as we go. Yeah, that's what they called us, y'all. They called us scabs. Luigi, unalived, a mass mills murderer. That's what L. Mike said. Please more. You did say Biden. Okay, when did I say Biden, please? AK Millie, Free Lou, Robbie Doe, FN Crazy, Chris. Like they can't replace y'all. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Scabs. That's what Thomas said. That's what Please said. GWT Night, because bills don't stop. That's what I'm talking about. The bills don't stop. LCVP3 Icky, ICI, but he hasn't. Jazz, as you can imagine, Aiden Nabonic future people are devalued further. Designer, you know Diddy? Nope, have no idea. I met him one time. I was handing somebody a business card. He came by, walked in the middle of us, took my business card and kept walking. Then he turned around and held the business card up in the air, said, "Oh, you started academics." Put the card in his pocket. Never heard from him. I'm glad he never called. Thomas he fought against the pro-act Trump. Is he the king of scabs? Robbie, though, you can't blame people on either side of this. You can't, Robbie. You're so right. You know, that's why I like you guys giving the comments, because this is the sentiment of everybody. You're not just thinking that way. You think that, oh, I'm saying this and I'm thinking it. No, you're not the only one that feels this way, because a lot of people feel the same way that you do, Robbie. James Corrigan, they call it currency for a reason. It needs to keep moving. Lost Soul, I love mine, IGA. Thomas, the strikers are fighting to raise your pay, and you're screwing over the people trying to help you. Thomas, no, he is the king of scabs. Trump is a scab and a boss. You know what? I don't agree with all of Trump's policies. I don't agree with all of Joe Biden's policies. That's why I had to become an independent. And it doesn't seem like even doing that, it's helping, because you still get the crap when you pick these people. So what are we getting here? What do we got going on here? That's why we come here to the bottom line. I give you guys all the information so that we can be smart human beings and we can decide what we want to do with all the information that we get. Thomas said, objectively, Trump hurts the working class. Thomas, people gotta eat, homie. They gotta, you're right. They gotta eat. We all have to. Speaking on that, I know a lot of you guys gotta go to work. So from now on, we're gonna start doing these lives much earlier so I can actually interact with you. James Corrigan, let's have a moment. Let's have a movement to get everybody replaced in office. And at a time, it's time for a change. One at a time, it's time for a change. I agree with you too. Because again, there's a lot of people that's not doing their job and not, I've been to courthouses and tried to do certain things, and I go to the building and it seems like there's nobody there. Have you guys had that happen to you? I understand that, you know, there's not that much need, but I mean, I've been to like corporate buildings, not corporate buildings, and they have more going on in a government office. And you would think that there should be more going on in a government office or like a courthouse than a corporate building, you know, because there's constant things going on with the government and more people have to interact with the government buildings. Damn, see, that's why I tried to read these people's comments, because look at you. You mad about one little comment, Lost Soul. You missed my comment. You mad about one comment and I read everything else. So I hate this. He has over, Jesse Jones, he has over 100 people here. Lost Soul. Exactly. Thank you, Jesse. But if it's seen as wrong, remind me who is just elected for our next president. Okay, but if this is seen as wrong, remind me who was just elected for our next president? If this is wrong? James Corrigan, I see how my coworkers act, and I know I'm an army of 3. So I can only imagine the people in the office have similar qualities. Robbie, though, I can't wait. As a business owner, HVAC for Trump. Andy King, DMV has limited hours also. Jesse Jones, what's up, Jesse? How you doing? God bless everybody here. Hope everybody having a fantastic day. Drink your water, do some push-ups, work out, and just keep on living and being happy. All you got to do is be a good person, and it's going to come. Blessings come to great people. James Corrigan, what was your comment? Go ahead and repeat it, boy. Repeat your comment, boss. Nah, I wish I'm no, I want to tie for the compliment. So happy holidays. No. Thank you for the compliments. Yo, stop all that. We ain't here for that. We here to chill. We here to have a good time, and we here to share information. And if y'all catch me out there, if I make mistakes, please tell me, because the more people help me out, the better the information, and then we all can work together collectively. That's how things work. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do that. Please go in the description. I have a few treats in there for you guys where I found a couple of surveys. I found a couple of places you can go make some extra money. I found a survey where you can make $125 by just answering the survey. Check that out, it's in the description. I'm gonna make $25 off of that, but you're gonna make $125. So why not go and check that survey? If it's not in this description, it's definitely in some of the other videos. So if you like the content, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to keep on putting treats inside of the descriptions because I want to get subscribers and I want likes. I would love for you guys to keep on coming here. So I'm going to keep on putting treats inside the description so that you guys can make money also when you come to visit the channel. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Till next time, till tomorrow. Get 'em! One.